Hello everybody, welcome back. Today's block is called Blades Block, and it's going to be 12 inches, and again we're doing Valentine's Day fabrics. So for this you're going to need 4 different fabrics. Out of the white you need 2 5x5 inch squares. I've already done some of it as always, but 2 5x5 inch squares, 4 2.5 inch squares, and 4 2.5 by 4.5 inch rectangles. Then you're going to need, my center block is this one. You just need 1 4.5 inch square. And then you're going to need another fabric that is 4 2.5 inch squares. And then one more that is 5x5, and you'll need 2 of those. So we are going to, let's do the half square triangles first, because that's what we usually do. So let's get started on it. So I've already done 2. We're going to make 4. So what I've done is I used this ruler. This is OmniGrid. I think I got it at Joann's or maybe Amazon. I don't know. I can try to link it if you're interested. I just lay this down here. I take this yellow line and I lay it on the corners. And then I took my friction pen, it's an erasable pen, and I leaned it in and I drew a line down both ways, on both sides. And then I have sewn on just my lines. Then I did that to the other one. You'll do that twice. You'll have 2, because this was also 1. Well, they're already open. So, but you know. So then we're going to cut this apart. And to do that, I'm just going to, you can line it up 2 ways. You can lay your 1/4 inch line on one of your stitch lines, or you can lay your ruler corner to corner, which really is the same thing. Either way you line it up, they're both going to happen. Need a new blade. Alright, we're going to lay that to the side. Now we're going to iron these open. And we will trim them down. So this is, I've never done this block before. It's new. I'm not sure I like it. I can't wait to hear your opinions. So we're going to cut this down to 4.5 inch square to match our middle block. So to do that, just like always, we'll line up the diagonal as close to this edge as possible while you're still going to trim some off. And really, you just need to make sure that your 4.5 inch point down here and line still has some to cut off once we flip it, because you don't want to, like if I cut it down here, my square's not going to be big enough. Or my square. My block, my square, whatever you want to call it. So we are just going to trim that. That moved a little, but nothing too much. Got it back before it did. So now you're going to line up the diagonal. And your 4.5 inch point, which will line up both your lines. Your 4.5 inch lines on both sides. Or I guess the bottom and the side, I don't know. There you go. There's 3 done. Let's do one more. Line up our diagonal. Making sure there's room down here. Flip it around. We'll line up the diagonal and the 4.5 inch point. And that lines up both of our 4.5 inch lines. So when I'm cutting these, and I do apologize, I don't remember who. It used to move on me a lot, but somebody commented that if you leave one of your fingers off, it braces it more. It gives you more structure, a more sturdy hold. I don't know what she called it, but it does work. So if you're having a problem with that, try it. All right, so these are our corners. We're going to lay it out on here. It's not right already. Just for the fun of it, we're going to go ahead and lay it out. It's going to look like that so far. That's not right. It's going to look like that so far. Now we're going to make this into a block. We can go ahead and lay our middle one there. And then we're going to make this block. So to do that, very easy. We're just going to sew these two and then sew it to that. So we're going to go over there. I'm not going to switch back and forth. I'm just going to grab this and sew it. And then from the sewing machine, I'm just going to grab that and sew it. And then really, we just have to put it together. It's a very quick block, which is great because, you know, I like quick blocks. I like them to come together fast. Not pinning that because really it doesn't matter what side I sew, they're all the same. I swear 10 seconds ago my machine was not making that noise. Right. We'll cut it loose. I'm going to iron it real quick off camera. Just enough to make it lay flat. And I want it like this. So I'm just going to fold it over and flip it over because I want to sew on this side. This side. It doesn't really matter, but this is white fabric. So I want it to line up as best as possible. Wonder what's going on with this machine. All right, let's go back and iron it and pull this down. We're just gonna iron it over top of this because it won't hurt. All kinds of too short. I don't know. It'll be fine. I promise. So now we're gonna lay these here. Just like this. Your square is going to be on the right side of each one. I still did it wrong. Right there like that. So now we're just going to sew these two, these two, these two, and then the other ones, and then we sew it together. So I'm just, again, I'm going to sew these ones, and then I'm just going to reach over and grab for these. And then we'll iron them open and we'll pin it together to do the whole block. So we're going to start here. Let's head back over. Grab the next one. If you're not comfortable doing that, I have been doing it for a while, please just open it up and iron them, pin them. Pinning is great. Pins are your friend. And last one in the first two rows. What we're going to do is we're going to reach around here. Should get off the pedal. And I'm just going to cut the first one off. And I'm going to open it up. And I know the half square triangles were the corners. So I know I'm going to sew onto this one. And I'm just going to grab it and flip it over. Exactly how it was laying down there. But again, until you get confident with it, pin. Go back over, iron it open, lay it out, pin it, make sure it's going the right way. I did it in the last video and sewed the wrong side, so it does happen. Get the next one, and I know my middle block was the solid one, so we'll just flip this one over. going to grab the last one. Cut it off. And again, I know the half square triangle was my outside, so I know I want to sew it to this solid white one. I did make a black block with, or a block with black fabric instead of white. I'll show that at the end. It was my practice one. Alright, now we're going to send this through real quick. Cut them off. Let's head back over and iron them open. Alright, so the top and bottom I'm going to iron to the outside. I'm ironing towards the half square triangle. Again, it doesn't matter. It's just the middle one, then I can iron to the middle, and it's less bulk. It's just a solid square. Oh, look at that. It's in the fabric. Do you see it? Oh well, we're in it now. Right. And it is, I did get this on sale for like 50 cents, so it's fine. Now we'll lay it out again. Let's see, we want this piece, it's right, because if we laid it like that, this would be on the inside. So that's how you're going to know it's right. And then the middle piece really doesn't matter because it's the same either way. So now we're going to fold this down and pin it. We're going to pin at the beginning. I don't usually do that, but today I do. And you really have just the 2 seams on each one to line up. And I'm going to pin at the end. Then I'm going to fold this up. And I'm going to fold this up. And I'm just going to flip it and pin like this. We'll do both the seams in the end and the beginning. It's a little bit bigger than it should be. But, I'm actually going to start here, so I'm not going to pin that one. I'm just going to hold it, and we're going to head back over. So I did just clean my machine. Can y'all hear that whistling on the camera? Let me know if you can, and if you know if it's something I should worry about. Because it didn't sound like that before. Alright, we're just gonna cut this off to start it back here again. And then cut that off so we can flip it around. And so we're going to open it up. So this side is, this is out of the way because we don't want to sew that half to this half. Or that row to this row. Just lifting it up there to make sure my seams all go the right way. see what we've got. Here we are. Let's move this out of the way. We're done with it for now. And this I am also ironing to the middle. And honestly, I just did it. I don't have a reason why. Alright, there you have it. I like this one better than this one. And I'll tell you why. Because these two look too much the same. And that came out better. But anyways, there's one we made. Again, it's called Blades Block. It's a 12-inch finished block. So let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I hope you make it and love it. And I will see y'all next time. Have a great day.